Who is Randy?
Don't bring anyone mother into this.
Your mom in the fucking stand!
I was executive producer on the Peter Nygard case. The
Yes,
guy in the fashion industry.
So a lot of people don't know about him.
Yeah, so
we
covered
him one time because we consider him to be a cool guy.
The Cool Guy Club.
Guys,
that's a bad club right there.
That's not a good club.
Yeah.
That's what we call them, the cool guys.
Yeah.
So this guy's like
There
one of
he
the
is
founding
on that.
members of the cool guy. And
there
then
he
he's
is
the
on the
cool
other
guy.
monitor. But yeah,
Peter Nygard. So we...
will you brief people on like Peter who don't know though? Like
Peter Nygard is a multi-millionaire, borderline billionaire, Canadian fashion mogul.
Mm-hmm.
If you bought a pair of women's jeans in most department stores, there was a high chance that Nygard made them. Dillard sold all this stuff. A lot of mid-level department stores and some higher-end department stores. He did private label stuff. So he made a ton of money, and he had his headquarters in New York, Winnipeg, big place in Marina Del Rey in Los Angeles, and a huge compound in the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Bahamas, he was recruiting very young women for sex. It involved drugging, forced rape. All rape is forced, but it was aggressive. And investigators believe that he's probably sexually assaulted thousands of women over 50 years.
Wow.
From women who wanted to be models to young children.
Jesus Christ,
involving
man.
druggings, violent, brutal, physically aggressive sexual assaults. And he got away with it because he was buying people off. And he was intimidating guys like me with lawsuits, and because he was in Canada, the CBC was onto him. Well, he, made their lives hell.
Yeah.
And we were fully anticipating being in his crosshairs.
Yeah.
And we didn't because of the timing of the thing. He was actually arrested and indicted just as we were getting ready to roll this out on Discovery Plus. But it is really, really, I did a lot of the interviews with the victims in the Bahamas, and it was just absolutely draining.
It sounds like
the courage that these young women had to come forward.
Oh my God, I can't imagine.
And then, he was involved in all this stem cell stuff. So he was allegedly impregnating young women, coercing them into having abortions, and then having the stem cells harvested from the aborted fetuses to inject in himself.
Oh my
in this quest for never-ending
God.
youth and virility.
Is there anything more evil? I don't think I've heard of anything more evil in my life. That might be the worst thing I've ever heard.
And then, to top it off, I get a phone call one day. We're up to our eyeballs in this investigation, and a guy calls me who I've known for many years. He's involved in a lot of things, and says, "Hey, it's that Nygard story you're working on." I said, "Yeah, absolutely." He said, "Call this guy." And it ended up being the lawyer who represented the guy who was his videographer for 3 years, who just out of a sense of justice shared all those hundreds of hours of video. So not only did he have the pamper parties and all that,
God.
we had
pamper parties.
The private jet and the stripper pole and going to Asia to get the stem cell research. All of that we had. So suddenly a great story turns into an incredibly rich story with video that has never been seen before.
Oof. It sounds a lot like
That is
the
so
like there's parallels to the Weinstein story.
Well, very much so. But this thing, literally between dealing with investigators and not endangering a law enforcement investigation and getting people to talk to us and navigate every day for a year of my life was like a 3D game of chess working on this thing. It was, and I was just one of a lot of hardworking people on this.
Sure.
Blackfin Productions, Discovery Plus. I've done a lot of work with Discovery over the years and hope to do much more because they're a great operation. But,
is your Nygard piece out?
It's out on Discovery Plus. It's called Unseemly. It's a 4-part series.
4-part series.
I'll
check that out.
Investigation. It's get comfortable because it's, my almost 30-year-old son who's in television and video production and has worked with me and does a lot of films and commercials. He sat with me and watched the first episode. He said, Dad, can we take a break and go out and get some pizza before we come back for part two? I said, we can do that.
I felt like that after watching part one of that Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I was
very,
like,
very
"Ugh."
powerful. Yeah. But it's important,
Shit.
and it's again, it goes back to the Miami Herald and Julie K. Brown and Epstein. Without that work, you don't get justice. And I wasn't the only one covering the story. We weren't the only ones covering the story. I mean, the New York Times worked on it. We worked on it. The Canadian Broadcast Company. I mean, people were on it. But he had pretty much bought his way out of every issue he ever had.
Oh my God.
In the Bahamas. And the interesting thing about it was he was neighbors with a billionaire, Louis Bacon, who runs a hedge fund, and they got into a property dispute.
That's right.
And initially it was, billionaires battling over a beachfront property in Bermuda.
Yes.
And there had been some people who wrote about it. I think Vanity Fair may have done a piece and some others. But it never rose to that level of horror that we, uncovered and infiltrated. And to Bacon's credit, I mean, his people uncovered all this criminal activity in what was a environmental property battle.
Yeah.
And did the right thing and hired people and got lawyers involved to represent the victims and push for justice.
Wow.
And so, we may never have gotten to this point without Louis Bacon and his family.
And had Nygard just been like, you can have a couple more yards of the driveway if you want.
Yeah, or
just
stop because his compound there was like something out of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And or it was. And that was really the thing that got it rolling.
Sorry,
Jesus.
I'm still stuck on impregnating women, forcing them to have abortion. Girls, aborting the fetuses, and then taking the stem cells from the aborted fetuses to make him look younger.
He looks great. I got to give him credit.
Yeah,
he's
it works.
very good looking guy.
He's, they arrested him in Winnipeg last January. Man. And he's been held without bail pending extradition to this country for trial. And that extradition hearing is not even happening till November. And now he's not been on his drugs and his injections and his supplements and all this stuff. So apparently he's having kind of a rough go.
Ooh, poor Peter.
Lockup.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Peter.
Yeah.
I've heard, I think I want to say that if you go to Winnipeg Airport, wasn't there like a statue of him or some shit?
No.
I don't think at the airport, but there were, I mean, he was
somewhere in Winnipeg. There was like,
Not anymore.
I want to say there
I
was
think at his corporate headquarters.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe check out Winnipeg Airport. Is there?
Yeah, there were. He had a banner there. I don't know if it was
maybe it was a banner?
He had. Yeah,
maybe it was like a big sign at Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Put Winnipeg Airport.
I know what you're
though.
talking about.
Yeah, Winnipeg Airport. Maybe it was. Oh yeah, see, it was like that thing.
Yeah.
He welcomes you to Winnipeg.
Welcome to Winnipeg. Yeah.
Yeah, and he looks like.
Look at the muscles.
Looks like the TRT is fucking kicking in for
it
Pete.
Was, the headquarters is on Broadway, or used to be at Broadway and 40th, which when they raided it, the FBI and NYPD, the Human Trafficking Task Force, we couldn't get a crew fast enough. So I actually ran down there with a cell phone to get, video of the agents and the cops because it was, 15 blocks from our apartment in New York City. So I ran down there. Like being in local news again.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Hi, Jeans. Did you like that highlight? Well, you can watch an entire episode here or more highlights here. But definitely subscribe here. That way you can, get the latest videos as they drop. For real, 4 strokes.